Hey guys, today we'll be making an adorable poofy fall deco mesh wreath. What you will need: I have a 16-inch wreath ring with the stems attached. You can also use a plain wreath ring and attach your own stems. I will link videos in the description box down below showing you how to do so. An adorable sign for the center. The sign is optional. You can make this wreath and leave off the sign. I do both ways, so it just depends on what you prefer. 6-inch deco mesh, Chanel stems, scissors and a rotary cutter, and a hot glue gun. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is raise all of my stems, just because it's easier to have them all raised. Once you start adding your mesh, it'll go a lot smoother. Okay, now we're going to start placing our mesh. And actually, I've decided to switch out my green mesh for burlap, just because I think that will make a really pretty and adorable wreath. And that's the thing, you can change things up, you can adjust it if you like how one way is looking or another. You can do whatever you prefer. Just going to take a roll of burlap and layer it underneath my roll of mesh. And I'm just going to complete the steps the same way. Fold it to a nice little point, place it on the outer ring, twist it, and then make a poof. The size of the poof, that is completely up to you. You can go as large or small as you prefer. And then just twist it in the next outer stem. You can even measure the sizes of the poof if you choose to do so. I just estimate. Alright, and then make another poof, scrunch it, and place it in the next outer stem. And twist it. One more time. Make a poof, scrunch, and place in the next outer stem. And we're just going to repeat this step all the way around the outer ring. Alright, so I'm coming back to my starting point. I'm just going to make another poof and connect it to my starting stem. And then you can cut away the mesh here, or you can continue on. Okay, and tuck it away. So now the outer ring is done, and we're just going to repeat the same steps on the inner ring. And again, I'm coming back to my starting point. And then I'm just going to cut away the excess mesh and tuck it away. And you can leave the mesh layered, or you can separate the layers. I do both. You don't have to decide right now. You can get all the mesh in place and then decide. So now we're going to get mesh added to each of our stems. So I've cut my 6-inch mesh into 8-inch long pieces, and I'm going to roll it at a diagonal. You can also roll it at a cute little curl, but I chose a diagonal for this specific wreath. Crisscross them. Take my ribbon, which I've also cut into 8-inch long pieces, crisscross all of them together, and scrunch in the center. Find my stem, place my mesh, and twist it a couple of times, and then tuck it away. And I'm just adjusting and maneuvering. It looks so cute and precious. You can add more mesh, less mesh, but I think that's a pretty decent amount. So I prefer to place the mesh on my inner ring first and then on the outer ring. I think I'm going to add some of my thinner ribbon. Here's my ribbon. And I'm also going to add a few more pieces. Scrunch it all together and place it in the next inner stem. So I'm going to just place these bundles all the way around my inner ring and then move on to my outer ring. Alright, so cute and precious. I'm just adjusting and maneuvering. Looks so adorable already. And this is just the inner ring. So now I'm going to add mesh to the outer ring. So again, I have 8-inch long pieces of my 6-inch wide mesh. Rolling at a diagonal, scrunch, and add. And I'm not going to add ribbon to the outer stem this time. Sometimes I do, but I just chose not to this time. Alright, so this is what it's looking like. So cute and precious. You can definitely leave the wreath like this. It looks so cute by itself. Or you can add an adorable sign to the center. This is the precious sign that I'm going to add to the center of my wreath. So I just cut the top hanger off of my sign. Flip it over. I have 2 stems that I'm going to twist together to form one long stem for the top and one for the bottom. And then I'm just going to hot glue it in place. And I just want to make sure I have enough of the stem hanging off the side of my sign so that I can easily attach it to my ring. Alright, so I have my wreath here. I'm just kind of pushing it out a little bit to make space for my sign. Just going to snuggle it right here in the center. Then I'm just going to push the mesh aside, attach my stem to the actual wreath ring a couple times just to make sure it's nice and secure. And then replace my mesh. And I'm going to repeat this step for all 4 stems. Alright, I'm just adjusting my mesh, and I decided not to separate my layers. Like I mentioned earlier, you can kind of separate the layers if you choose to do so. I switch it up sometimes, so it just depends on how I'm feeling. And you are all done. So cute, simple, and easy to make. Modify the color, the style, add in any additional embellishment you prefer.